Welcome to The Explainer, where today we are unpacking, well, a truly wild week in professional golf. I mean, you had the sport's ugliest controversies bumping right up against its most inspiring victories, all happening at the exact same time. It was a week of extreme highs and lows, and we're going to break it all down.
So, what happens when the party ends? Well, in this case, the champagne from Europe's Ryder Cup victory at Bethpage had barely gone flat before the whole celebration just soured. And what was left was this massive hangover of controversy and some very, very serious questions about the state of the game.
And online? Whoa, the reaction was just a tidal wave of criticism. A staggering 87% of social media posts were negative, specifically targeting how European players were treated by the fans. And listen, we're not just talking about a few hecklers here. This thing absolutely blew up.
Okay, so let's really dive into this. How in the world does one of golf's most prestigious events just descend into total chaos? And, maybe more importantly, how did the organization in charge seem to fumble the response so badly?
You might be asking, just how serious did things get? Well, according to an insider, the fan behavior was so relentless that the European team had a pre-discussed plan to literally down tools and just stop playing in protest. Can you imagine that? A full walkout at the Ryder Cup. Apparently, it got very, very close to happening.
European Vice Captain Nicolas Colsaerts, for his part, put the blame squarely on the event organizers, the PGA of America. As he argued, look, it shouldn't be on the players to police the crowd. Security should have been ejecting unruly fans without waiting for someone to point them out. So the crucial question is, where was the enforcement?
The official response that followed was, well, confusing, to say the least. The PGA of America's president, Don Rea, initially took this vague, both-sides stance, even suggesting the behavior was just like what happened in Rome, a claim, by the way, that European players called offensive. It was only later, after a ton of backlash, that he sent a letter to PGA members finally condemning the fan behavior. And get this, as this whole situation was escalating on Saturday and with the U.S. team getting hammered, Don Rea was reportedly spotted at the team hotel. And what was he doing? Performing a karaoke version of Eminem's Lose Yourself. No, seriously, you really can't make this stuff up. And instead of a public statement to address the growing crisis, Rea posted this super cryptic message on LinkedIn. New level, new devil. What did that even mean? Nobody was quite sure. It was a move that just baffled critics and left a lot of people wondering about the leadership at the very top during a moment of crisis.
But here's the thing. Even as all that Ryder Cup drama was consuming the headlines, the actual game of golf was telling a completely different story. Away from all the chaos, the sport was producing some of its most compelling and feel-good moments of the entire year. It really was a tale of two different worlds.
I mean, just look at this. All across the globe, you had 4 different golfers on 4 different tours celebrating these huge career-defining victories. From a maiden win on the PGA Tour to a Ryder Cup hero winning at home, these moments were a powerful reminder of what the game is really all about. Pure competition and raw emotion.
On the PGA Tour, you had Fisk's first win, and it was a story of just pure perseverance. This is a guy who spent years grinding on the mini-tours, battling injuries and financial hurdles, and his emotional victory was described as the look and sound of pure joy. This is what it's all for.
And over on the Champions Tour, you had this great story. Tommy Two Gloves Gainey, a man famous for his unusual swing and a backstory that includes working in a water heater factory, he won his first senior title. Incredibly, he had to win a qualifying tournament on Monday just to get into the event. A truly inspiring underdog victory.
And just a week after his Ryder Cup heroics, Scotland's Robert MacIntyre won on home soil. His secret to success? Well, as he candidly put it, he did everything against the book, admitting his preparation was fueled by takeaways and fish and chips, not hours on the range. A relatable champion for sure.
So these incredible contrasts between the off-course chaos and the on-course inspiration, they really do highlight the deeper conflicts that are shaping the entire future of professional golf right now.
The backdrop to all of this, of course, is the ongoing power struggle in the sport. And this number is just staggering. It was reported that LIV Golf lost nearly £500 million in 2024 alone. This just underscores the massive financial stakes at play and raises some really serious questions about the long-term viability of the current divide in golf.
And with those big merger talks between the PGA Tour and LIV Golf completely stalled and the rival tour still very much at odds, the leadership of the sport remains fractured. The Great Divide, well, it shows no signs of healing anytime soon.
Which brings everything right back to the Ryder Cup. The PGA of America's handling of the fan behavior and all the subsequent fallout has put its stewardship of golf's biggest event squarely under the microscope.
And that leaves us with this one crucial question. Given all the chaos and the questions about its leadership, should the PGA of America sell its stake in the Ryder Cup? And if it did, should the PGA Tour, the only entity really capable of taking it on, be given control? It's the question that now hangs over the entire sport.